Marketing and Coffee. Today I brought back Cornell to talk about his property business, and we're going to review some of the basics when approaching a new website and a new business, especially in a new market. Cornell, tell me where you're at with the property management company and how's it going?
So far, so good. I think we are at the end of our organic growth stage, in my opinion. After 2 years of operating in Costa Blanca, I think we now need to focus on more, SEO and optimization when it comes to marketing. That's when our lovely Zima Media will come in place. But we are at a point where we need to kind of target our demographic a little bit better. As you know, for our business, our biggest clients are investors from Britain, America, Canada. Costa Blanca is still a very good place to invest and to bring money in to put into properties and to have properties be cash flow positive as much as possible, of course. So yes, that's where that's the next step right now in our company for WeStay is just to kind of start marketing and get more SEO.
Got it. Yeah, so that's a pretty standard checklist. We're going to go from a new website build to setting up Google Ads to setting up some SEO. Like throughout this series, I'm going to take you through those steps. Like we're going to go into building a website next.
Yep.
But the purpose of today's meeting is just kind of a high-level overview of the things you need to consider. Understanding and just drilling down more into your customers.
Yep.
And ultimately, what I like to talk about in a lot of my videos is your competitors. They already have the blueprint. Right? Like the Imisols, like the big builders around here, they have a lot of intellectual property that isn't private.
Yeah.
So the goal here is for you to put on a marketing hat. The goal here is to put on your marketing hat and try to emulate what they're doing because a lot of the time you're going to try to reinvent the wheel. Reinventing the wheel costs time, reinventing the wheel is expensive, and ultimately it's just going to set you down on a path to become a marketer when you need to be on a path to become a business operator. So tell me where you're at with the website.
Well, I had a rough draft of the website last year or so. It was just a very, rough landing page that I created. Now I'm gonna, together obviously we're gonna revamp the landing page. We're gonna showcase our services, and I really want to become more clear and kind of stand out from all the other property management companies to show people that we are a one-stop shop property management company and we can provide every single service from not having any money to not owning any property to owning multiple properties and having multiple mortgages or multiple loans that we help you of course manage.
Okay, so yeah, you want to be sort of like the ABC where some of these guys just focus on the property aspect and they really don't have any buy-in. They don't care about the client. It's really, they care about the clients that already are like to the point where they can hire the management company, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. So tell me a little bit about some of the competitors. Have you done any research into like what people are doing? You don't have to name anybody, but just tell me some of the things that they're doing and just kind of give me a picture of what it looks like. Like what does the business aspect look like?
So the competitors, especially in Europe, some of the biggest competitors, they're either very large, they have over 150 doors and up. On the average seems to be around 300 to 500 doors. These are the biggest guys. And then, of course, you have small companies like ours, which are 100 doors or less. And it seems that what happened during the COVID era, a lot of the small companies couldn't compete. A lot of them closed down, and the big guys kind of came in and took the inventory that was available for all the, for the taking. Right now, we see a lot of companies kind of trying to come up, but it seems that the property management game has been really kind of taken over by the big guys, or including platforms themselves. So what we've seen now is Airbnb is coming in and providing actually a service for the owners to manage directly through the platform. And the way they're doing this is they're actually hiring small companies like myself to be subcontracted by Airbnb.
So you're an agent for,
Yes.
for Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a bad system entirely. I just believe that it's a little bit disconnected, and the fees are much higher than what we offer. And of course, because now you're dealing with a big company, there's just other
I'd imagine
cons.
support, Airbnb support is almost like on top of you.
Support is great. Yes, the
Yeah.
Airbnb support is great. I mean, not that we don't provide great support,
Yeah.
but their infrastructure and their ecosystem for support
Right.
is fantastic. I mean, I use it all the time, of course. What the biggest trend right now is actually hotels are jumping in and they're lobbying in as well. Hotels have realized that the smaller markets with the one bedrooms and the little rooms and studios.
Apart hotels, basically.
Yes, apart hotels. They're not really touching that. What I've noticed is, like, for example, Hilton and Marriott. They're renting out big villas, and they're doing group packages, and they're very profitable, and it's something that we also do as well. They are attacking that extreme. They're going full force on it. And what I've noticed is the hotels now are using different types of propaganda online to kind of diminish the Airbnbs and get people away from the Airbnbs and get them to the trusted hotel brand name, right? So it's an ongoing war, of course, between hotels and Airbnb and property management owners. But we'll see where it goes. It's just started, kind of.
Okay, so that makes sense. There's a lot of opportunity opening up in the market. There are some, personally, I have Airbnb experiences.
Yeah.
Not all of them are great. I wouldn't say
course.
it's a majority of them are bad.
Of course, yeah.
But these are all independent operators, so there's a lot of inconsistencies there.
Yes.
I think a lot of those inconsistencies are probably coming from just like owner operators.
Yes.
They don't have a partner that can make it more streamlined and
Yeah.
make it work good.
Yeah.
Now, how do those businesses scale? Like, how do they grow so much? Is it through investment? Do they have some sort of channel that gets them more leads and customers? Like what does their pipeline look like?
So usually, business as ourselves and other businesses that I've worked for in Toronto and then that I know, the way they scale, of course, organic growth is the bread and butter in the beginning. It's the foundation, but through online marketing is actually the number one way that these businesses scale. Through localized, mostly through localized ads. I've noticed, especially here in Spain, Costa Blanca, it's a little bit of a different, playing
Yeah.
field here.
So the way that works in Google Ads, you can potentially target people that visit an area,
Yeah.
not necessarily people that frequent an area, like live here. So
Yeah.
it's not exact, but you could potentially target, let's say, travelers, because the
Yes.
first thing that happens when you land in the airport here in Alicante, you see big Imisol ads to buy a property.
Yes, yeah.
And as a foreigner, you don't know which builder is the right partner for you. You don't really know where the best area is. So there's a lot of you're going to find out. And
Yeah.
I like to call it a Spanish surprise, but we'll leave it at that.
Yes, it's very true.
So that's a potential to get customers. So their acquisition is really investment. Have you thought about talking to local brokers that might?
Yes.
Have you been talking to brokers?
Yes, we have actually, yeah, and that's we've been doing that for the last 12 months heavily. Talking to brokers has helped us a lot, of course, to find properties, to find gems here for our potential clients and current clients, and also it has helped us a lot to transition from short term to long term and from long term to short term by using the local brokerages. The local brokerages are also, a pool of data as well, so that's been very helpful as well. And the great part here is the great part about the local brokerages is that they can actually also work with you.
Yeah.
So they help you, you help them kind of with their
Yeah.
clients. So yeah, we have been.
Okay. Well,
using a
taking
lot,
it taking it a step further, if you were to cold call brokers,
Yeah.
could you convince them to say like, hey, listen, I'm a property management company. I want to kick you back something on the back end. Are you like pitching them to build
Yes.
more relationships?
Yes, we are, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
We're pitching them, kind of a percentage of whatever comes our way from them.
Yeah.
Which is very normal here in Spain. It's quite normal actually all over the place.
Right. So I want to pause on that idea
Yeah.
because with digital marketing, people think everything is magical online. You can do a lot of things. You just mash in front of the keyboard and it just converts into sales. That's true to a point. In your businesses, any business that's really capital intensive, like this is property, right? There's there's upkeep, there's entry costs, there's taxes. There's also logistics involved. There's a lot that goes into this. Anything that's really cash intensive, you're probably getting the lion's share of your profits and sales offline. Okay. So what you're doing there by building these relationships, these first party relationships, you're building your CRM, that's what you have to focus on, right? That's going to be 90%, 80 to 90% of your business results and profit. What we're trying to do here is break off that 10 to 20%, which is going to be the longevity. Because Cornell, the property manager, can only have so many meetings with different agents, and you're going to exhaust it because eventually you're going to get enough no's to where you're just going to have to go down that list and just keep doing it, and it's just a vicious cycle, right?
Yes, for sure.
Until you can scale and hire a guy to do that and just take on that burden. So that's number one. A lot of the time, like this is a big lesson. I'm having a discussion with a client tonight that's very successful in one part of the business, but is putting too much attention into a new business that's just not generating profit. And that's what digital marketing could be. If you're taking your eyes off the prize, going into digital marketing and over-investing, what you're going to end up doing is paying more for the current results. So that's the biggest lesson here. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Marketing is a gradual investment, and it's also not a cost. It's an investment.
Yes, yeah.
It's just you might have immediate returns or you might have immediate losses.
Yes, for sure.
And you have to realize them, because if you're going to be emotional about it, you're going to fail at digital marketing. So that's like a big thought here.
Yes.
So now, like, we can talk about the CRM aspects, the sales aspects later, because that's going to come much later. Because once you have your online machine built, all of your offline leads are going to flow online. Right?
Yes.
This is eventually what we're going to do. So all of your activities, all of your sales, all of your leads are going to flow to your website. We're going to squeeze them through your website.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if we can squeeze them through your website, then we can do a lot more advanced things.
For sure.
So going on, we have a website here, and tell me about Duda and your experience. It's do you have your website right now that I can pull up?
It's not published right now. It's offline.
Okay.
WeStay.com. Right now, it's just currently sitting on Duda. Waiting for me to finalize it and publish it.
So I'm going to go to Web Appalizer, and I'm going to type in Duda right here. And this is a great tool. No affiliate things, just telling you about the tools we use. So you have different tools. What is it, Duda.com?
Duda.com, I think, yes.
Is it Duda.com? I've been blocked. Let's see, Duda.
There it is.
Duda.co. Okay.
Duda.co, yeah.
Duda.co. You really got to get that .com, Duda. You're just like playing with fire here. So this is going to give us like just, an understanding of technology. This is a great tool to first start analyzing your competitors and what they're doing.
So Wappalizer, that's what it does?
It gives you like, okay, what is my competitor? It will tell you some of the pixels they have installed. They might be using a CRM. It just gives you some analysis into what's going on.
Gives you insight on the company and
so Duda's only a couple percent
Yeah.
Of the internet of websites, right?
Of course.
I recommended going with WordPress. You know, I have a lot of bias. It's 1 in 3 websites.
Yeah.
It's easy, but it's also complicated in a sense of do-it-yourselfers. Mm-hmm. So I recommended WordPress. We're going to go with WordPress, but for an MVP, your minimal viable product, I recommend just keep what you're doing, okay?
Yeah.
Duda's going to be fine. What I'm going to help you do is take a look at a couple of your competitors that are local or international because they figured it out.
Yeah.
We're going to wireframe the site. I call it a paper MVP. It's just a piece of text. It shows you what the website looks like.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to help you with an outline. And we're going to build an outline of the content you're missing. And I'm going to show you some tricks. You're going to wait for the next video on how we're using AI to build this content. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to use AI to build some of the assets to make you look bigger than you are. That's the goal of any online marketing campaign is your campaigns, your marketing, your email, your website, your social media. You have to be bigger than you really are. And to the point where you're authentic, because sometimes people are bigger than they really are. They're sitting in a private jet with a fake Rolex, trying to really be flashy. That's not what we're going for.
No,
we're not going for vanity metrics. We're not going for the likes, and we're not going for like anything that doesn't drive immediate sales.
For sure. Yeah.
So
transparency, I think, is very important as well. You know, if you are gonna, you know, pretend to be bigger than you are, then you should be very transparent with what your goals are. And that's just my opinion. But I feel like when I'm looking for if I was looking for a property management company, I think transparency and clarity is very important. I've noticed in the last 2 years that a lot of our investors, of course, a lot of our clients and investors are in the older demographic, and for them it was very hard to kind of grasp exactly what we do and how we do it. So I think transparency and clarity in the services and everything down to a T is super important.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to build a website first. Some of the objectives will be social. I think the day in the life of a property manager is important.
For sure.
Because, you know, you can have a video where this is an easy day, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, it's the hard day. Because an easy day, you still have to get the bookings like fulfilled. You have to get them everything. You have to have immediate response. You have to have the maintenance.
Yes.
And then you're going to
got to do all the logistics.
Then you're going to have those bad days when you're going to have a lot of maintenance and you're going to be basically probably fighting with the owner.
Yes, it happens.
Right? Because it's a cost.
Yes, it happens a lot. Yes.
You're a cost, and also the maintenance is a cost, and also the equipment is going to be a cost.
Of course, yeah. A lot of the what I've noticed in the last couple of years is a lot of our owners, they don't understand that these assets that they got at a good price, of course, here in Costa Blanca, they do require a lot of upkeep, and most of the time they actually require upgrades to continue to be profitable, right? So, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, I actually look at it as a plus, because you'll get a good deal on your apartment, but you'll have to invest a couple of thousand, maybe a couple of tens of thousands into your apartment to be, you know, spectacular and to stand out and to be profitable. But it seems like a hard cost, and it seems like a hard pill to swallow. But in the long run, what we've noticed is actually better to do that instead of buying something that's already done, brand new, maybe something already that's a gem, because you are going to be here, especially I noticed in Costa Blanca, you will be overpaying by a lot. Because a lot of people are making their money like that, right? A lot of people are posting these gems and they're selling them for 40% over than what they're worth.
Yeah,
so it's for a lot of our owners, it's very tough to swallow in the beginning, but like, you know, that's how it is. It's growing pains.
Well, one of the things I know about real estate in Spain is people can hold for a really long time.
Yes, they do, yeah.
We saw this in Majorca. We saw a shack. Yeah. That's basically the wall shares the side of the road. If someone makes a wrong turn, they're going to hit the shack for over 3 million euros.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was in 2019. And it's still probably for sale for 3 million euros next to basically runoff from the mountain.
Yeah.
But it's in the most pristine location ever. And for that 3 million, you're going to spend 4 years demolishing it and starting your project. Yeah, that's licensing and permits in Majorca could take between 2 to 4 years before you're ready, authorized, legalized to start the project.
That's crazy.
And then finishing the project could take another 2 to 4 years depending on the build.
Yes, it's very slow here.
So if you think you're going to make quick money, you have a world of pain, and that's why a partner is really important, because in areas like this, which are developed, there's less fragility. Things move a little bit faster. Not in every situation. Now, so we kind of covered a couple of things, like, you know, your business, your industry, a little bit about your competitors, what they're doing, try to differentiate from the Airbnbs, which is making it more difficult for owner operators of 100 doors to really scale. And now we're talking about, okay, how do we do more acquisition, which is going to be a website. And once we have that website up and running, hopefully within like the next week, we can start talking about advertising and also how to set some of those benchmarks, how to do some tracking and conversions. And I think we're going to hit a couple of bases, because once we get the website and the Google Ads up and running, we're going to have some social.
Yeah, for
Help you put together like a content calendar so you can get organized.
Yeah, we're already started to do that.
Brilliant. And we have a couple of templates that we can share and give you some insights on how to do that. We'll also share those templates as well if anybody's interested. And that's going to at least give you some sort of cadence, because it's about minimums.
Yes, yeah.
In marketing and sales, you have to set your minimums, then you have to meet those minimums. The biggest rate of burnout in marketing and sales is everyone sets their maximums. And I'll tell you that after, company included, after about 6 weeks, you're not even going to hit your minimums, and those maximums are just going to drown you and make you depressed. So once we start hitting those minimums and we get scale over the next 6 months, we'll be able to review that data and see what you're getting. Because what would you say if you were to assign a dollar amount to a customer? Like, what's that lifetime value? What do you think that lifetime value? If you're in business for like the next 10 years and you acquire a good customer, like an average customer, what do you think they would be worth to the business per year?
It all depends on the size of the asset, but I mean every customer, every owner is.
We can do a range, like from average, from like an average case to like amazing.
Yeah, like I mean the dollar amount, the profitability of that. Again, anywhere minimum from 10% of their yearly revenue to up to 35%.
Okay.
Depending on the asset. If the asset is able to be, short term all year round.
House versus apartment.
Yes, yeah. Anywhere, but again, minimum. To be honest, anywhere from 8 to 10%. Minimum 8 to 10%. And the sky's the limit. I mean, we never went higher than 33, 35.
Right.
But that will be the range, 8% to 35%, I would say.
Because the long-term goal of this experiment is to get a dollar amount, whether it's like 10% of what they bring in over a year, whether it's going to be that whole pot for the year. Because what does it cost you to get a new customer? And this is where, if we can get down to your lifetime value and get those metrics, I can give you a spreadsheet. You can do those projections, because if you're willing to eat the cost for, let's say, 12 months, then they roll over and you're going to be cash flow positive. And that's the arms race here, because your competitors, even those competitors with 500 doors, they might not want to spend a couple hundred to convert a customer.
Yes, yeah.
And if I can put you into a position where you're willing to like put that whole, like half that pot or that whole pot for the first year to get one customer, and that compounding starts rolling, that's how we get you to 500 doors.
Yes, for sure.
Right? From under 100 to 500 doors, that investment to where we're leveraging their asset and some of your time capital, because time is great. Like
time is all we've got. Yeah.
Any entrepreneur has to put in the time, because if you're just auditing your time and how much you should be getting paid, and it's going to make you depressed. Because if you want an hourly job, go do that. You don't have what it takes.
Especially in hospitality, it's a very thankless business. As
same in marketing. It's a thankless business.
It's a thankless business.
What are you gonna do? Okay, so we're gonna cover some of those things, and we'll recap. In the next Marketing and Coffee, we're going to go and build a website where we'll be geeking out in front of a screen and building a couple of things. And this is gonna take about 30 minutes. We'll have all the content ready. You're gonna plug it in, and then we're gonna do like a review of the site and set up Google Ads. So that's our timeline.
Great.
And then we'll move into social, video, building all that out, and you're gonna see step by step what it takes to build a digital presence online in 2025. It's really easy. I've done this thousands of times, and we're going to do it again here on YouTube, so you can take a page from our playbook and achieve the same kind of results that we're going to give Cornell.
Excellent. Can't wait. I'm
Cheers.
excited.
Cheers.